because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Joe Q for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Frank Smith, we're here in Manchester. Very quick turnaround, another week, another fight week.
Yeah, that's what we do. You know, week in, week out, massive nights all over the place. You know, the run we've been on, it's been a relentless run, non-stop, you know, going back from the start of the year, but then just going back to AJ at the O2, then in San Antonio, then we had a weekend off, which was quite nice. Then we had Cardiff with Joe Cordina in that unbelievable fight there. Canelo, John Ryder in Guadalajara, sensational. May 20th, obviously Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron put it all in there. Sensational atmosphere in Dublin. I think one of the best shows we've ever done in terms of overall event and the fights and everything. And then this weekend, the rematch people have been looking forward to. Wood Lara, it's a sensational fight. And Lara came over here, we all know what he did last time, and we all know what he's got the ability to do. But Lee Wood wanted his opportunity to win that belt back, and fair play to him, because a lot of fighters wouldn't have gone straight back into this. But massive weekend ahead in Manchester.
Now a few days removed from Dublin, just how big was it, and how much did you enjoy it, and how much were you proud of putting on an event like that?
Yeah, like I say, I think, you know, we've been lucky enough to do events all around the world, you know. I posted the other day, I've done something like 353 boxing shows now since I've been with Matchroom. That was up there, similar to Taylor Serrano as well. You know, that atmosphere that was created in that arena. I mean, the Gary Cully walkout, for example, I know it didn't end the right way or the way we wanted, but that moment, and being in there early in the night and having 6,000 people in there at 6, 7 o'clock, you know, it's good to see for the sport, and it shows massive, you know, long-term potential in Dublin for great boxing. So yeah, looking back on it, an unbelievable night, and that's what happens when the best come together to fight.
This week in Manchester then, it's the big rematch. Obviously Lee Wood, he needs to get that win really, doesn't he? I think Eddie said yesterday to Colm, it's tough to see where he goes when you're operating at world level for Lee Wood. So how important is it for him to get that revenge?
Yeah, 100%. You know, like I say, a lot of fighters want to jump straight back in there. He believes he can beat Maurizio Lara. You know, again, we all know Lara's strengths and talents, and Lee Wood was winning the fight. I think Ben Davison, you know, he came under fire, but I think he made the right call, because, you know, it's a dangerous sport we're in, and he made the right call for the long-term future of his fighter. So, you know, fair play for that, and you know, I think Lee Wood's got the ability to go in there and do it, but I think we're in for a great fight. I think we're in for a really good fight.
Obviously the first fight under the Matchroom banner for Jack Catterall, an extremely exciting signing when you signed him just before the Anthony Joshua fight. But if he gets past Darragh Foley on Saturday night, how important is it to get him a world title shot quick?
Yeah, I was speaking to Jack and Jamie Moore and Nigel earlier, and said, Jamie from our office said that Jack's last fight was 455 days ago. And before that, I think, was another 300 odd days ago before that. And in 2021, he didn't box. Obviously, COVID was difficult. A lot of fighters didn't box. But, you know, I feel sorry for him, because he went in there and he beat Josh Taylor. And if he would have got the result that he should have got, his career would have been in a whole nother level. And then he was with people who, you know, really didn't deliver for the best of their fighter. You know, they messed up with the whole rescheduling clause. So I'm delighted to have Jack as part of the team, because, you know, I think he's got massive potential, and you know, I think there's big fights to be made. You know, we obviously saw Regis Prograis, which is a big fight possibly for him. You know, looking at doing something with Subriel Matias as well, possibly. So there's so many big fights out there to be made, and the key is now momentum. You know, get him out now, and then, you know, the focus for us is September time as well. You know, keep him active, because he's had so long out the ring. But we believe he's a talented fighter and has got a lot to offer the sport.
Could you potentially look down the WBA avenue? Because we know Romero's got that title, and O'Hara Davis has got to fight him within 120 days. And that's a rematch that could be made for an all-domestic world title fight if O'Hara was to get that win.
Sorry, I missed the last bit at the end, but I think I got what you were saying. Yeah, obviously, look, that's tied up with the mandatory challenger he's got to do. Like I say, I think the focus is get through Saturday night against Lara Foley, and then we move from there. You know, the Prograde fight is a massive fight as well. It's a fight that's been spoken about for a long time. You know, I don't know what beyond when you think that's 120 days away, it's another 4 months away. He doesn't want to be held up his career again. You know, he needs to keep active, so that's the key and that's the focus for us.
And just from a UK standpoint, Frank,
the Hurricane, Campbell Hatton.
Campbell Hatton coming there. Just from a UK standpoint, obviously we've got this weekend, we've got the triple header with Sonny Edwards headlining in London, and then on July 1st you've got Dalton Smith and Sam Maxwell. Are we going to get any other announcements for UK shows heading into the summer?
Yeah, we're actually working on sort of a 6-month plan now with the Zone. You know, we've seen a lot of success working on these, you know, sort of longer term schedules and trying to plot out, you know, across the year what we're going to do, and we want to announce as much as possible. So yeah, I think you'll see some big announcements. Obviously you got June 17th is Regis Prograde's return as well. We are announcing the undercard for that show later today. June 24th we're in New York, another new signing in Edgar Berlanga. Looking forward to that. July 1st, as you say, Dalton Smith. Got a big show, a good show coming for July 7th. We announced July 15th in Detroit, and I think, yeah, you'll see something. Probably July 29th will be our next UK date after that, and then some big shows in August. So yeah, working on a big schedule to get announced very soon.
Can you give me anyone who could be on that July 29th show?
No.
Okay.
I'm used to it. I'm not going to tease you. I like surprises. Do you know what I like? You know when we signed Andy Cruz, no one had a clue. But that's because we didn't tell anyone. And I actually think there's an element of fun to actually coming out with stuff that people don't know about. You know, which Eddie does tell a lot of things before they come out, but I think for us, I like some surprises, so you have news soon on that.
2 more things. Eddie said yesterday that he spoke to George Warren and you've kind of sorted out timings because it is 3 world title fights. Are you disappointed that something couldn't be done with Sky and Ben Shalom and kind of no cooperation was there?
Yeah, look, I mean, it kind of is what it is, you know. I don't look. The reality is, it's a shame there's 3 massive shows on the same night. But at the same time, that's, you know, with so many televised promoters in the sport now, you're probably doing 60, 70 shows a year. There's going to be clashes. It's a shame that it's 3 big fights. You know, they're 3 great fights. But yeah, our focus is ours. We obviously, as you say, we spoke to George Warren. I think they're going at 9 o'clock. We'll be around 10 o'clock, and then I don't know what they're planning to do with the Coley, Billum Smith. I haven't heard anything about it.
Last one, Tyson Fury's been very vocal on social media for the past week. He's kind of said, look, I want a 10-fight deal. Matchroom, Tyson Fury, 10-fight deal?
Yeah, I don't know what his situation is. He's obviously going out at Aram as well, Top Rank recently. I don't know what's going on. I tend to... Fury's entertaining on social media, but let's see what happens. As always with Tyson Fury, let's just wait and see.
Frank, thank you very much for being to IFL TV. It's been a very loud one, but I'm sure it'll do well. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,